10 children went to sleep on Christmas Eve 1945. Only 5 woke up. The others vanished in flames that left no trace, no bodies, no bones, no answers. This is the story that turned Christmas into a nightmare. Christmas Eve, 1945. Snow-blanketed Fayetteville, West Virginia. Inside their 2-story home, George and Jenny Sodder tucked their 10 children into bed. The house filled with the warm glow of Christmas lights and the excited whispers of children who could barely sleep. By dawn, 5 of those children would be gone forever, leaving behind only questions and an unending search for truth. George Sodder was an Italian immigrant who had built a successful trucking business in the coal mining hills of West Virginia. A man of strong principles, he had worked hard to provide for his large family and earn respect in his community. During World War II, he had been vocal in his criticism of Mussolini's fascist regime, refusing to donate money to Italian organizations he believed supported the dictator. This stance earned him enemies within the local Italian-American community. Anonymous phone calls threatened his business. Strangers would approach him on the street with veiled warnings. But on that quiet Christmas Eve, such threats seemed like distant echoes from a world far removed from his peaceful family home. Marion, 17, fell asleep on the couch. The 5 middle children, Morris, 14, Martha, 12, Louis, 9, Jenny, 8, and Betty, 5, slept in their shared bedroom upstairs. The youngest, Sylvia, 3, was in her parents' room downstairs. Around 1 a.m., Jenny awoke to the telephone ringing. A woman's voice, slurred and unfamiliar, asked for someone who didn't live there. The sounds of laughter and clinking glasses came through the receiver, as if from some distant party. The line went dead abruptly. Jenny noticed the lights were still on downstairs and the front door was unlocked. Strange details that would later take on sinister meaning. At 1:30 a.m., a loud bang on the roof jolted her awake, followed by something heavy rolling across the shingles before hitting the ground with a thud. Then came the smoke, thick, acrid, deadly. "Fire!" George shouted, leaping from bed. The house was already engulfed in flames. Thick black smoke filled the hallways. The family had minutes, maybe less. George, Jenny, and 4 children, Marion, George Jr., Ted, and little Sylvia, escaped the inferno. But upstairs, 5 children remained trapped behind walls of flame. George tried desperately to reach the trapped children. His ladder was missing from its usual spot. His truck wouldn't start despite working perfectly the day before. The water pipes broke when he tried to climb them. The fire department, located just 2.5 miles away, didn't arrive until 8 a.m., 7 hours after the blaze began. Neighbors later testified they had called immediately, frantically pleading for help as they watched the Sodder house become an inferno. But the fire chief claimed he had never received any emergency calls until much later that morning. When firefighters finally arrived, the house was nothing but ash, twisted metal, and smoldering ruins. The intense heat had been so fierce that even the metal appliances were warped beyond recognition. In a fire hot enough to destroy a house completely, searchers found no trace of the 5 missing children. No bones, no teeth, nothing. Such complete incineration would require temperatures exceeding 3,000 degrees and many hours of burning. House fires rarely exceed 1,400 degrees. The fire was ruled accidental, caused by faulty wiring. The case was closed within days, with investigators showing little interest in the growing list of suspicious circumstances. But George and Jenny Sodder refused to accept this explanation. They knew something was wrong. The timing, the missing evidence, the convenient failures, it all pointed to something far more sinister than an accident. George mortgaged his property and spent his life savings hiring private investigators, offering rewards and pursuing every possible lead. The mysterious phone call was traced to a local establishment with ties to organized crime. The missing ladder was found at the bottom of a nearby embankment. George's truck had its electrical system mysteriously severed. Witnesses came forward with disturbing accounts that painted a picture of possible kidnapping. A bus driver claimed to have seen the 5 children in a car, with out-of-state plates the morning after the fire, looking scared and confused. A woman at a Charleston diner 50 miles away said she served breakfast to 4 Sodder children several days later, accompanied by nervous adults who hurried them along when the children tried to speak to other customers. A hotel clerk reported seeing the children in the company of strangers who paid in cash and avoided giving names. Most chilling was the account of a traveling salesman who had visited weeks before the fire. He claimed to be selling life insurance but spent an unusual amount of time examining the house's structure. He had lingered near the fuse boxes, commenting on the old wiring with an unsettling familiarity. When George grew suspicious and asked him to leave, the man's demeanor changed completely. He pointed menacingly to the fuse boxes and said, "Your house is going up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed. You are going to pay for the dirty remarks about Mussolini." For 42 years, they maintained a billboard on Route 16 displaying photographs of the missing children, offering a $10,000 reward, a fortune at the time. The haunting images showed 5 innocent faces: Maurice with his gentle smile, Martha with her dark curls, Louis with his mischievous grin, Jenny with her bright eyes, and little Betty, barely more than a toddler. Thousands of people passed that billboard daily, but no credible information ever emerged. In 1968, they received a photograph showing a young man resembling their son Louis. On the back, Louis Sodder, "I love Brother Frankie, ill boys," a 90132. The photograph was sent to the FBI for analysis, but it mysteriously disappeared from their files and was never returned. When they hired a private investigator to trace the photo's origin, he died in a suspicious car accident before he could report his findings. Every lead seemed to end in tragedy or silence. Theories range from accidental death to organized kidnapping. Some believe the children died in the fire, their remains somehow completely consumed. Others are convinced they were kidnapped as revenge for George's political views or taken by people with old-world grudges. The most persistent theory involves Italian-American organized crime connections. George had received threats for criticizing Mussolini and refusing to donate to certain causes. The fire may have been a warning gone wrong or cover for kidnapping. George died in 1969, never knowing what happened to his children. Jenny continued the search until her death in 1989. The billboard remained until 1989, a haunting reminder of 5 children who vanished on Christmas Eve. The mystery remains unsolved. Were Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty consumed by flames that left no trace? Or were they taken into the night, living out their lives under different names, never knowing the anguish their disappearance caused? The FBI file remains partially classified. Critical evidence has disappeared. Witnesses have died without revealing their secrets. 5 children, 1 night, endless questions. The Sodder children disappearance remains one of America's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. A fire that consumed everything except the truth. What do you think happened to the Sodder children? Share your theories below.